A portion of this video was sponsored by Bluehost. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm sharing with you some more Christmas DIYs. Now, if you guys have been watching any of my Christmas videos, I have created quite a few, but I think this one has to be one of my favorites. I'm doing a lot of neutral decor for this one. Now, if neutral is not your idea of Christmas holiday spirit, that's okay. Change it up with whatever colors work in your home. So for your first project, I actually got inspiration from something I saw on a high-end website and wanted to recreate something similar for my holiday decor. I picked up 3 glass bowls. Now, depending on the size that you want to make this will depend on the size of glass bowls you got. I got a large one, a medium, and a small. I started by gluing all 3 of the bowls upside down together using a strong adhesive DAP gel just to kind of hold everything together. Now you are going to have to let this sit and dry for a while. It's not an instant dry like a glue gun. I wanted to give it a frosted look so that it looked like it was a snowman, a little translucent. So I have this spray paint that I love using for that translucent look. It's in the color Ice. So I spray painted 2 coats on the entire piece. I noticed that I was still seeing some of those marks from where I glued, so I went in with my Waverly White chalk paint and I'm just gonna dab the glue in the center. And then I'm gonna come back in with a wet paper towel and just dab that glue. My hope for this was that it would mimic the look of snow. In the end, I liked how the paint turned out. So I had some wood pieces already on hand in my craft room. I'll link them in my description box if you want to recreate this. And I just stained them with a dark stain. Next, I'm gonna hot glue the nose to the top. And then I'll put my buttons down the middle, making sure I get them as straight as possible. You guys are gonna have to let me know what you think of my more modern snowman. This portion of my video is sponsored by Bluehost. Have you ever wanted to create a website but just have no idea how to get started? Bluehost Website Builder allows you to quickly and easily get started with building a website beyond the boundaries of other builders through the power of WordPress. WordPress is one of the most popular platforms to use, and through the help of Bluehost, you can easily build on it. Now, you may be wondering, why should you choose Bluehost to build your next website? They offer you a free domain for your first year. They also have the quick start templates, so if you can press a few buttons, you can easily put together your website. I really appreciate these quick start templates because anytime I try to do a website or build anything on my own, it just doesn't look good. And I find that the templates really help to make it look professional. They also have drag and drop editing, so you can easily swap out pictures and text. Bluehost also offers mobile-ready templates, which is more important than ever because most people are viewing their websites on a mobile device. So you want to make sure that whatever website you build, it's going to be just as good on mobile as a desktop. Now, because Bluehost is built on WordPress, it allows people to choose their own editing journey. At any time, you can toggle between WordPress Core, which is the traditional editing experience, and the Bluehost Builder. You lose 0 functionality of WordPress. This is a first of its kind builder experience. Bluehost also allows you to have unlimited uploads of images, videos, and GIFs, so you can really do so much with this website builder. If you've ever been intimidated about creating your own site, check out Bluehost and see if it's a good option for you. It's going to allow you to easily create a website, and best of all, it's going to be fast. So if you want to start building a website with Bluehost today, check out all of the links down in my description box to receive more than 65% off. Thanks again to Bluehost for sponsoring this portion of my video. Now on to my regular content. Sometimes I'll be at Dollar Tree and I'll come across certain items and I get so excited because I just know it's gonna make a perfect DIY. That was the case when I found these houses. Now they're made of particle board. I loved them so much I picked up 8 of them. Now one of the things I love to do with Dollar Tree items, because they're small, is put several items together to create a big statement piece. And that's what I did with these little houses. So I started by removing the flowers from the back of them. Next, I picked out 3 stain colors to stain them. Now I was a little hesitant about how these would look because they were particle board. I have to tell you, the 2 lighter stains that I used actually, in my opinion, kind of came out the same color. My darker stain did look a little bit different, but when I started adding the stain, I didn't have to wipe off any of it because that particle board really soaks up the stain. Now I think if I wanted to make the colors a little bit more substantial, I could have added a second coat, but I was happy with the way they looked. Next, I wanted to add in some white, so I grabbed my painter's tape and I just sectioned off different areas of my house. Then I came in and added 1 coat of white paint to the areas that I sectioned. Now before the paint was even dry, I went back in and removed all the tape and let them dry completely. Now when you add all these houses in a grouping with greenery, I think they look so nice. You could put these out on your shelf, you could put them out on your table as a centerpiece. I just love the way they look. I also found this really cute glass planter at Dollar Tree. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have seen these. This was the first time I came across it. This is obviously a planter you could use all year round, but to make it for the holidays, I added in some Dollar Tree's faux snow, and then I just added in one of their green plants as well. And here's a look at how it turned out. If you love seeing home decor and DIY videos, consider subscribing. I post videos on Mondays and Thursdays. For this next project that I'm gonna create, you may already have both of these items at home. I know that I've had both of them. You're gonna need a thinner piece of garland, not one that's super full, just something that's honestly more of like what would be considered like a cheap garland. You're also going to need a canvas. Now your canvas could be around any size for this project. What you're gonna do is we're gonna cut pieces of the garland off to create a tree for the canvas. So I laid out the garland and then I'm just going to snip it off. So I have about 1 inch on either side. Now, when you look at this, you want to make sure you have a white section in between each piece of garland. I moved the greenery pieces around a little bit until I was happy with the look, and then all you have to do is hot glue this. I think this is a great neutral art piece that honestly takes 5 minutes to do, and you could put it out this holiday season. I picked up this set of cones off of Amazon, and honestly, I picked them up for another project, but I figured out a way to use them in this video. So we are going to turn these into ornaments. Now I'm gonna link them for you down in the description box. I also had this hexagon shaped beads, and I'm gonna hot glue the hexagon beads to the bottom of each of my cones. Now I love that these cones are a little bit different. They have different shapes and sizes to them. Next, I'm gonna pull out those stain colors that I was using before, and I'm gonna stain each of them a different color. Once I brush on the stain, I'm just gonna wipe it off to remove any excess. Now I thought these would be cute as ornaments to hang on my tree, especially since I'm doing, well, I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I'm doing for my tree this year because my tree video hasn't come out yet, but I thought these would work great on my tree. So I'm going to take a piece of twine and tie it at the bottom in a knot, and then I'll just cut off any excess. Then I'm gonna simply hot glue the knot to the top of my tree. Now, if you wanted these to be even more secure, you could drill a hole and then loop the string through there and tie it. But really, they're not that heavy, so I knew the hot glue would hold them up just fine. Now, since I've been shopping, I've seen several wood ornaments out this year, so I know these are going to be a popular item this year, like wood style ornaments. And here's a look at how my ornaments turned out. I have a podcast, DIY Disasters with Liz Fenwick. Make sure you guys check it out. For our next project, I grabbed some foam pieces from Walmart. I also grabbed these little knobs, these little wooden knobs that they had at Walmart as well. And my macrame that you guys see me use all the time is what I'm gonna be using for this project. So I'm gonna start by wrapping the macrame around the bottom of my foam trees, hot gluing every once in a while. And as I was doing this, I was trying to figure out like a fast technique to really get it wrapped around. And I tried laying them down, then I pushed them up, but whatever works for you to get it on there as quickly as possible, try it out. The one thing you want to remember when doing this is just try to make sure that you push your yarn down so you don't have any gaps. It's going to look 10 times better if you make sure that yarn is really close together. And I'll do this all the way to the top. Once I get to the very top, I'm just going to finish it off by hot gluing that top portion and cutting off any excess. Now I repeated this with one of the smaller trees, and then I'm gonna be using those little wooden knobs as a base to my trees. Now I figured with these wood knobs, I had to really get them in the center, otherwise the trees kind of toppled over. So you may want a bigger base, but they ended up working, but I had to make sure that I got them in the center. You can find these at high-end sites, but I love the texture of them, and I love how inexpensive they were to put together. And here's a look at how these inexpensive macrame trees turned out. Dollar Tree has all these little wooden decor items right now. I grabbed the snowflake. I thought about staining it, but because it was made of particle board, I decided instead to spray it with 2 coats of a white spray paint. Now, you guys, I hold on to a lot of things, and I had these wooden placemats that I picked up at IKEA that I thought would make a good backdrop for my piece. Once the paint dried on my snowflake, I put some hot glue on the back and glued it to that IKEA placemat. I think it looks pretty good. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I like the way it turned out. If you guys like seeing these Christmas style videos, make sure to give me a thumbs up. It lets me know to do more like it in the future. Now this next one, I think I like it, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's totally different, so I thought you guys might like it. So I started by getting just a wood bulletin board. You can pick these up at your thrift store, you may have it. And I sprayed it with 2 coats of a glossy green, kind of hunter spray paint that I grabbed from Walmart. And on a side note, when I went to Walmart to get spray paint, it was pretty cleared out. So I don't know what's going on with spray paint right now, but there wasn't much in my store. Next, I grabbed a mop head from Dollar Tree. I'm going to start by cutting off that black piece that kind of holds all the mop pieces onto the black piece. Then I'm going to divide up my mop head because I only want half of the white yarn pieces. Then I'm going to wrap the top of the white yarn that's already folded in half with a rubber band elastic. You can get these at Dollar Tree in like the hair section. Next, I'm going to come in with a brush that I really just use this brush for this one sole purpose, and I'm going to brush out all of the yarn pieces because I wanted them to be loose. And I'll do that on both sides. Next, I'm going to divide my pieces out and put them in 2 rubber bands. From there, I'm going to divide the pieces again and put them in 4 rubber bands. And I'm going to continue this process going down until I get to the bottom and I can't really add any more pieces. Once I get to the bottom, I'm going to brush it out again and cut it off so it's nice and straight at the bottom. I'm trying to create the look of a yarn tree, if you guys haven't guessed yet. And I'm going to hot glue that onto my green board. Now I was trying to think of something different I could use for the stem, so I found this bell and hot glued it to the bottom. I know this piece is totally different, but it was fun to create and I like the way it turned out. I hope you guys had fun DIYing with me today. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite project was, and I'll talk to you guys in our next one. Bye.